Back up, ladies. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Let's turn to our online streaming and say Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Good morning, everybody. My name is Scott Buchanan, and a great way to captivate your heart and capture our world at Unity of Oak Park is to be engaged by singing. I'm so busy singing with you guys. Singing and signing up, all in one. Signing up to our newsletter so that you can receive all the highlights and happenings at Unity of Oak Park. And here's a couple to check out right now. Join us this evening at 6 p.m. for our Christmas concert featuring Unity Oak Park Choir. Don't they look lovely? And our combined Grateful Voices of Evanston, directed by our very own Scotty Zacher, who we will see in a few minutes. And we will also have a 50-50 raffle, I heard.
Yes.
So, bring some cash.
That's right.
And win yourself something. And a light reception will follow. Tickets are $10, and it supports the choir, so we look forward to seeing everybody. Our Christmas celebration is next Sunday, December 21st. Following the service, you can decorate a gingerbread house while enjoying cocoa and cookies. Sign up online to ensure we have enough materials. Plus, Frosty the Snowman will visit. I hope it's cold enough for Frosty. And if you wear your favorite ugly holiday sweater, you'll be entered in a raffle. So wear your ugly sweater, come for gingerbread, say hello to Frosty, get your picture taken. A lot of exciting things. And then we have our water bowl ceremony on Sunday, December 29th. Let's welcome the new year together at this special service, and it certainly is a beautiful one. Join us for coffee after service in the solarium. It's a great place to connect with our community members who can tell you more about these amazing happenings. If this is your first time here, we have a special welcome package for you in the solarium. Now please stand as we join our choir in singing Come On In.
Standing outside the door, love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. While the door's unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and hurt your feelings. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Well, the Father waits with open arms. God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. There is room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Oh, come on in, welcome will come on in. Come on in.
Good morning. Can we thank Alima and our Unity Choir for welcoming us this morning? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be back and see all of you. You probably wonder, where's Rev Ev? Right? Where's Rev Ev, right? And here I am. I had to take a little time off just to get a little downtime and regroup. And I'm so happy to be back on one of the most festive days in our community. Can you feel all the energy? Yeah. Yes. All the yes. Let's applaud for that. I'm so excited. Our choir is performing later on this evening. How many of us are going? All right. Make sure you invite your friends to come. It's going to be a celebratory experience where we get to hear their gifts and just be one as a community. And I know that our world needs a higher vibration of love, and this is the moment for us now. And a great way to do that is with music, right? So with that vibration in our mind, let's go into our heart as we pray in together. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, affirms that we cannot feel love and fear at the same time. And so we bring the awareness of love into our heart by becoming receptive to knowing that we are expressions of love. We release anything that binds us, that holds negative beliefs that aren't true. We take a nice deep breath. As we let that go, take another deep breath and let that energy go for our world. Maybe take another deep breath and let that go. As we let that go, we let the good go so that we can expand the awareness of love. The awareness of love that connects, that binds, that multiplies, that makes us feel good about our own expression and of our world. And so we bring that intention into our service today. We allow that vibration to vibrate because we're receptive to knowing there is good everywhere. As we affirm in our minds and our hearts, we know there's no room for fear. There's only room for God. There's only room for God. Can we affirm that together? There's only room for God. Amen. And so it is. Thank you. And now please join us for our daily word.
Good morning. Calling it all love, right? The third Sunday of Advent. The daily word for today, December 15th, was first read December 11th, 2022. I answer the call to love, embracing the world. Love is both a noun and a verb, more than just a feeling. It is one of the highest intentions I can hold and the most sacred action I can take. Love is the name and the nature of God, the pulsation of oneness from the center of my heart to the farthest reaches of earth extension. On this third Sunday of Advent, love is also a call to action, an invitation to perceive the world through the Christ presence and live as the love I am. I open my heart and let my love flow forth as kindness, gentleness, and compassion. I stay grounded in the presence of God through my prayers, and I radiate love through my kind words and actions. I trust my loving impulses will reach far and wide. The light and joy I send forth will grow and expand to encompass all things. And from 1 John 3, verse 18, little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action. The daily word for today is love.
I brought my tree down to the shore, the garland and the silver star, to find my peace and grieve no more, to heal this place inside my heart. On every branch I lay some bread, and hungry birds filled up the sky. They rang like bells around my head. They sang my spirit back to life. One tiny child can change the world. One shining light can show the way. Through all my tears for what I've lost, there's still my joy. There's still my joy for Christmas Day. The snow comes down on empty sand. There's tinsel moonlight on the waves. My soul was lost, but here I am. So this must be amazing grace. One tiny child can change the world. One shining light can show the way. Beyond these tears for what I've lost, there's still my joy. There's still my joy for Christmas Day. One tiny child can change the world. One shining light can show the way. Beyond these tears for what I've lost, there's still my joy. There's still my joy for Christmas Day.
thank you again to the choir for that beautiful music. Thank you. Our focus today, this third week of Advent, is love. As we heard in the daily word, more than just a feeling, love is one of the highest intentions we can hold, most sacred actions we can take, a force that connects us to all good, a choice for us to make, the name and nature of God that unifies, harmonizes, and multiplies. And it expands exponentially when we show up from that place of love. The verse for today from John 4:16, God is love, and those who abide in love abide in God, and God abides in them. There's a comfort in that, right? That abiding there. But sometimes showing up in the outer world, in our lives, it's hard to feel loved or be loving. It's not always the easy choice. Sometimes it's something we feel like we're struggling toward or striving to reach. But God says abiding is knowing we already have access to all that God is. Love. Many years ago, when I was in elementary school, we did a Christmas pageant every year. I went to a school where from preschool to 8th grade, the same school. And every year, the Christmas pageant ended with all the younger kids singing Silent Night with a melody of Make Room Within Your Heart Today. And the grade 7 and 8 got to sing that song. And we all were striving when we get to sing that song instead of Silent Night. And I think around this time, Christmas time, we remember those rituals, right? Those rituals that we hold so dear. You know, each year we maybe do some certain traditions, and there's a lot of sacredness, a lot of love in that. But now, with more wisdom, right, I look back and I see how even though those songs were the same each year, I took them in differently, right? Just as I do now. In fact, I think back about the lyrics of those songs, Silent Night, and to me it reminds me a lot of our Unity Principle 4, right? Get silent, be still. And it leads right into the next principle, live from that place. And in the song we heard it, make room within your heart. Make space for that higher love. Now, we can all say thanks. That was about my last time in a choir. Thankfully, that was not my call. We have some others who it is their call, so thank you for sharing your gift. But God calls all of us in different ways. And life changes and challenges us, and we're called to change and grow. But there's one thing that's ever present, and that is that love. It's always there. We hear that God is the potter and we are the clay, right? Different ways of thinking about us, each being expressions of that love, that source. And we can welcome it in and abide in it. I'm going to invite us all to take a moment now and just breathe into that. Maybe place your hand on your heart if that feels good for you. And think about a time when you felt love. Maybe it was someone that you loved dearly, a family member, a place, something that reminded you that you are loved and that you love. Just allow yourself to be there for a moment. Maybe it's that gaze of a furry friend, that unconditional love that you felt. Just take a moment to breathe into that memory of love for a moment. As we breathe in thinking about that love, we can feel it expanding within us, right? And as we let that love in, we can also breathe out and just let it flow outward So how did that feel, right? If we want to open our eyes. How did it feel? Good. Beautiful, right? All right, thumbs up. It wasn't hard, right? It was an ease with that. There was an ease and a comfort in turning within to that love, abiding there. And it's even more powerful when we do it in a space like this, right? Because it's multiplying even more. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am in your midst, right? God is there, making it even greater. I feel we have to remind ourselves of that sometimes because the outer world may not always show it. But God's always there calling us to answer the call of love. And that's our affirmation today. We heard it in the daily word. I answer the call to love. We say it together. I answer the call to love. In John chapter 15, Jesus was talking to his disciples. This was right before he was going to be crucified. And he said to them, I am the vine, and you are the branches. If you abide in me, you will bear much fruit. Now, this is what he leaves them with. Abide in me. Abide in love. On the eve of his crucifixion, right? Not, why me? Or, let's get them. Let's fight this. Let's take a stand. It was a different thought. It was, abide in love. It's teaching us that if we want to overcome a challenge that's coming up in our lives, abide in me and you will bear fruit. If you want to deepen or repair a relationship, abide in me and you will bear fruit. You want to experience that wholeness again, that health in your body, abide in me, abide in love, and you will bear fruit. Now here, abide actually means depend on, relax into, right? Just as we did a moment ago when we relaxed into that feeling of love. And bear fruit means outward evidence of an inward change in our life. So outward evidence of an inner change. So it starts first inside. Does anyone know the Native American parable of the 2 wolves? You may have heard it before. But the story goes something like this. And a grandfather is talking to his grandson, and the grandson is very upset. Someone had wronged him, and he is angry. It wasn't fair the way he was treated. The grandfather goes on to tell the grandson about the battle of the 2 wolves. One wolf is fueled by anger, fear, and the other one is fueled by faith, understanding, trust, and love. He goes on to tell the grandson, these 2 wolves are within all of us. The battle is one we all have at different times in different ways. The grandson then asks, who wins the battle? And the grandfather says, the one you feed. I love that story because it's a reminder of what are we feeding, right? In our interactions, in our conversations, in our media consumption. What are we feeding? Of course, we can't uproot all challenges, all negativity, all mistreatment. But can we make a different choice? Can we maybe do some things that will help us make a different choice? Do things that nourish us in a way that we may find that understanding. We may find that peace. We may abide in love, knowing that outer circumstances do change when our inner circumstances change. We bear fruit. So I'll give an example of that internal battle. Now, a lot of people know when I'm up here, I often talk about my kids. There's a lot of material there. But I figured it's probably time for me to give us one of my stories. So, thinking of that internal battle, right? It's a little different for all of us, but there was a time where I had that battle so much. And it raged in me mostly when I was in new situations, new people, having to step outside of my comfort zone. I'm sure we can all kind of feel that, The voice inside was a critical voice, and inside me telling me, you're not good enough to be here. They don't want you there. They invited you just because they were being nice, right? Things like that, I would listen, and I would just decide to then sit back, to not say yes. I would just listen to it. It was easier to just avoid the confrontation, make sure I didn't say something that would offend. So I stayed out and I missed out. And as an introverted person, that wolf was bigger when I was in social situations. But on my own, I was strong. That whole silent night, I could do that. I could get in the stillness. But I still heard God's call, right? I had that duality. And sometimes that's the struggle. Just having that awareness that there is another voice. So I said yes to studying abroad in Australia when I was a junior in college. It was an amazing experience. It was one of those times where it's like, yeah, I have no problem going across the world with nobody I know on this study abroad program. But go and talk to that new person? No, I don't think so. Right? So we have these different dualities, these different things that we're struggling with. But I did it, and I remember they called it uni there. So I was in a dorm with a bunch of other international students. And so it was this great opportunity. Everyone's in the same boat, meet new people. And I remember early on being there, and I was invited to go over to watch a movie with some friends, some people that I just met actually. And I was like, okay, great. And so I remember being back in my dorm room and excited about it. And then all of a sudden that voice came in, that wolf. They don't want you there. You're not, they just invited you because they felt bad, just different voices, that negative voice, that I wouldn't be worthy enough for the space there. But in that moment, it was very profound for me. I noticed it. And so instead of hiding behind that voice and saying no and just doing my comfort, I went. It wasn't easy, but God was there with me, and I did it. I said yes. I made a different choice. And it led to something more. Those friends ended up being friends that I traveled all over Australia with, and it led to so much. But it's that awareness of what's coming in and then making a different choice. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we feeding? What call are we answering to? Because challenges and obstacles are a part of it. They show up in different ways for different people, right? It's not about comparing my challenge to another, my wolf to your wolf. But all we know is that we face hard things. That's a part of life too. But we get to choose the meaning we attribute to that. How are we learning from it? The Buddha said, life is suffering. I would love to say instead, life is suffering when you feed suffering, right? In unity, we don't deny the suffering. We know that it's part of the multifaceted experience of life. We don't just go through it, we grow through it, as Eric Butterworth says. I love that quotation from him. So we're called to move forward despite the difficulties we face. Whatever visual makes sense to you, God is the potter and we are the clay, the vine and we are the branches, that as we return to source, we can trust that the outer will change. And we see it, I love the visual of the branch because we see it all around us, right? We see life's transitions, life's seasons. We see new leaves form, we see leaves fall, we see new blooms taking root. It's all a part of it. But I'm reminded again to go back to those two songs, right? How do we remember to return to source? Well, we can get still, return to the presence of God through prayer and meditation. That's how we make room within our heart. And that's how we can see God's presence that's always there if we answer the call. Back when I was in Australia, there was a lot of travel, right? It's a big place. So to get from one place to the next, a lot of bus travel and trains. But that, like travel and seeing new places, it's a lot of time to think and reflect, right? As you're just looking out. And I'll never forget one of the experiences there. I'm on the bus, I think, try to just get to the grocery store, because I took the bus everywhere. And it was taking a long time. We're waiting at a stop, and I see all of a sudden, very slowly, a woman with a cane, and I realize she's blind. And I'm like, oh man, imagine how much harder it would be to get around and have that. And then right after her came her husband, who too was blind. He had a cane, and you could tell, they were feeling their way onto the bus. And, it was so, I might not have noticed that, but I noticed it. And then right after those two people, on came this girl who had the biggest, most beautiful eyes I had ever seen. And that was their daughter. And it was the most beautiful representation of God's love. Knowing that God provides and that we can answer that call and that there's always evidence of that when we open our eyes to it. When we abide in love, we bear that fruit. We see the outer evidence of that inner change that we made in our lives. So as we close, I encourage, let's all take a moment again to just come back to that place of love that we felt at the beginning, right? That experience of love that we felt. And remember, that's our essence. That's our core. Expressions of that love is how we were created to be. And every time we can remember that and choose love, answer God's call, we're feeding love. And that simple act, sacred act that we learned about in the Daily Word, harmonizes, unifies, and multiplies inwardly and outwardly. And we can allow that to be easy. Don't have to strive. And maybe if we're striving and it's really hard, that maybe we need to get out of our own head. We need to pause and get back still. And we know that with that breath, love expands. And with every exhale out, love flows out. So we can set that intention now to answer the call of love. We can share our voice in love as the choir does and will tonight. We can see with eyes of love, just like that girl on the bus. And we can abide in love so that we see it unify, harmonize, and multiply in our world. May it be, and so it is. Amen. All right, and now we'll just take a bit of time in a guided meditation, just letting that sink in a bit as we just allow our bodies to relax. And we do so by feeling our feet grounded beneath us, letting our hands rest. Maybe let your shoulders drop. Close your eyes if that feels good. Take a nice big deep breath in. And release out. Another big deep breath in. And release out. As we turn inward, we focus our attention on our breath, letting our breath fill and fuel us as we breathe in deeply and exhale out. Thoughts will come and go, but we return to our breath and return to our being, knowing there is no discord in my being. Being is present. There is no discord in my being. Being is presence. And as we allow that love, that energy to fill and fuel us, we know that we are here on purpose and for a purpose. Breathing in peace, breathing out love. We can release any worries, any fear, and use our breath to anchor us back to this place, this present space of presence, of peace. We enter the silence now with that intention of love. We know and affirm there is no discord in my being. Being is peace. And we let that affirmation, I answer the call to God. I answer the call to love, knowing that we are love. And with that, we extend thanks and gratitude for this space, this place, this moment, to return to love and allow it to take us into the day, into our community, and into the world. And with that, now let us just wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes. As we enter this space and give thanks. And now let us prepare for our offertory with Redalia.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Great, great. Can we just give Reverend Lindsay one more hand? She was phenomenal today. Your Grace, you taught her well. Okay, all right. Okay, good morning again. I'm Redalia. I'm with the board trustee and leadership team. Unity of Oak Park is a self-funded spiritual community. Your offerings help us continue to make a difference so that we can come together for service and events, pay for the operations of the church and our Sunday team. Know our contributions matter to keep our community and dream alive. There are many ways to give. You can use the Support Unity button on the website, text a donation to 708-980-0073 from your phone, or place a check or cash in the basket or at the door. And of course, mail a check to our office. We are so grateful for your financial contributions, in addition to our donations of time and talent, which allow our ministry's mission to grow and thrive. As our founder, Myrtle Fillmore, says, because this is given in love, it is blessed to the giver, blessed to the receiver, blessed to the cause. Now let us sing as we collect our offering.
I am so blessed.
Please remember, our chaplains are here and available to pray with you and support you before and after service. And please join them every Monday on Zoom for prayer and meditation. Details are on our website. Let us affirm our offertory prayer together as we bless all the prayers in our hearts, the service we give to make our community operate, and the financial offerings we contribute that make our community thrive. Divine love expressing as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and all that I am. Amen. So it is. And so it is. Amen. All right.
Closing the service.
I think I'm still on vacation. I'm still on vacation. Sorry about that. Can we hear it again for our Unity Choir? Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also want to thank Lindsay for her inspiring message. Thank you so much. Thank you. So with all that gratitude in our heart, let us not forget our families, our youth teachers that are in the chapel teaching our children. We know that we are all here expressing our good, and they are definitely expressing theirs. So we want to bless them and include them in our circle. If we can please stand as we do our closing prayer, followed by the peace song. And don't forget, a reminder, tonight's the concert, 6 p.m. So feel all that abiding love that Lindsay spoke about in her message. As we go into that stillness in our hearts, we recognize the power of love, the power that connects, that binds us together, that multiplies, that harmonizes our thinking, but also our actions. And with that love, we affirm our prayer of protection by knowing that love is everywhere. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy Sunday. Oh, you are.
Lucky you. You'll be going home, going back, Lucy.
Yeah.